Just gonna get that morning stretch in. What's up YouTube? Back again with another video. It's your boy Hades TV, and today we are reacting to 4 Nightmarish true scary stories. I need you guys to be as scared as I'm gonna be scared. I need you guys to like shit your pants too. Anyways, let's just get into this video. Lego.
I'll never forget the time me and my brother snuck out past our bedtimes to explore an allegedly haunted house down the block.
Yo, this is only in the left ear.
Yes, I said bedtime, as I was only 10 and my brother Luke was only 12. When our parents said goodnight to us, I went to Luke's room and we took a couple hand-powered flashlights with us and hopped outside through the window. Luckily, his room was on the first floor. Those hand-powered flashlights worked by constantly pushing in a little trigger that would create light inside the lens. They were noisy as hell, but they were convenient. Once we were outside, we just walked down the block, and in 2 minutes we were there. It was rumored by all the neighborhood kids and teens that the place was haunted. Everything about it was creepy.
No shit.
The older, more antique design of the house, the isolation from the rest of the houses, and the broken windows and rotting wood. It seemed perfect for a horror movie.
Definitely.
We went around to the backyard. This was all my curious and confident brother's idea. I was scared shitless. The door was locked, as expected. I felt a bit of relief, thinking we might just go home, but my brother made a shocking move next. He grabbed a plank of wood laying in the grass and began smashing the already chipped window. Eventually there was enough of an opening to unlock it and slide it up completely.
He
hopped inside and began cranking those noisy-ass flashlights. Immediately after entering the house, we both picked up on the fact that it was like 90 degrees in there, which was odd as it was a September night in the mid-70s. There was no graffiti or anything anywhere.
Wouldn't it be colder?
In fact, it was relatively empty besides a few pieces of furniture that were clearly not worth taking along. It seemed we were the first to enter the house, shockingly, or at least from the back. We went upstairs to the main floor from the little den area and continued cranking the flashlights. That's when we heard the slightest crack in the floorboards from right above us.
Oh, dude, I'd be fucking out of there. Oh, I'd be fucking out of there, man.
We both jumped.
Ah, shit.
I tugged for Luke to leave, but he told me the place is old as hell. It's just house noises.
Just house noises, you motherfucker.
I stopped cranking the flashlight at this point, and I urged Luke to do the same. But he only called me stupid for suggesting something so ridiculous.
Lucas, you're dumb fuck.
Then there was another crack in the floorboards from above us.
Get the fuck out of there.
He began walking upstairs.
Oh, what a bitch.
I didn't want to go up there, but I was not about to stay down there alone.
I would have got the fuck out of there.
I followed behind him to the upstairs. There was a door that led to a room right above where we were standing.
Yeah.
I begged him not to open it.
Oh, he's gonna open it.
He must have just wanted to be the big, tough older brother.
Fucking
He began
Lucas.
to reach for the doorknob while still cranking the noisy flashlight. But then he stopped. I was confused. I could see in the dark he was moving his ear up against the door, listening for something. Silence. Then, the most deafening, nightmare-inducing moment of my life. A single bang on the door from the other side sent my brother staggering into the wall in pain, covering his ear. We dropped the flashlights and ran straight out the back door and back home.
Oh, I would too.
We were so loud when we got back that our parents found us out. We told them what happened, but they naturally didn't care and grounded us both for a week.
True. Yeah, you deserve a grounding.
2 nights later,
you go back.
I woke to the sound of something from outside my window.
Oh, fuck.
And a glare of brightness sneaking in through my slightly opened blind.
Oh, no.
I sat up, and my heart sank when I realized it was the sound of the crank to my flashlight. I stood up and looked out the window, and that's when it stopped. There was nothing but complete blackness out there after that.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I woke the next day barely remembering what happened, and I still hope today that that part was just a dream.
Yeah, no, you're fucked. That was definitely not a dream. Okay, story number 2.
This is a story that happened to me recently. I was still in my first year of university, and I've only just made friends with a few other students. Albeit an old and notorious university for its ghostly figures and paranormal activity, the campus janitors and security were all too familiar with unusual reports. The art and design faculty was subjected to the oldest campus of the 4 separate buildings, and the block my class happened to progress in was the allegedly haunted section as well. It was late in the afternoon, just before 5, and my friend needed to use the restroom. She asked me to accompany her, and I obliged, seeing it as an opportunity to rest my eyes from the strains of the projector. She rushed into one of the stalls, and I waited outside the bathroom. Feeling that she would take longer than I initially anticipated, I decided to walk back to class without telling her. As soon as I sat down, she barged into the class, calling out for me. According to her claim, she heard the sink's tap turn on and thought it was me playing a prank.
Oh shit.
As she opened the door, she saw no one else in the restroom besides herself. Yet the other stall next to her was locked from the inside.
Get the fuck out of there, bitch.
Thinking it was someone else on the toilet, she asked if it was me. No answer. Curious, she looked down the gap but saw no shoes or legs, yet heard feminine whispers and humming from that particular stall.
Get the fuck out of there.
Frightened, she left without saying another word.
Good.
Class ended and we went home, but the thought of the occurrence remained. We later learned from one of the janitors that no one should ever be in the restroom after 5 in the evening, as there is a known ghost of a woman who resides in the stalls. Needless to say, as juniors in the university, my friends and I decided to never use the bathrooms after the designated time.
No shit.
I'm not in any way saying these claims are true, but everything I told you is true in regards to what I was told. Whether these things I was told by my friend and the janitor are true or not remains a mystery to me.
I wonder where these stories come from, 4chan or Reddit or Yik Yak or some shit.
This happened a few months ago while I was serving in Japan as a missionary for the Mormon Church.
Oh, this one's gonna be
I was in
good.
the country for 2 years, and my time to return home was approaching.
Okay.
I was in my last area, Kyoto, a bustling tourist attraction. An ancient Japanese city I've wanted to visit all my life.
I think I've heard of that city.
Anyway, it was late at night, and my companion and I were knocking on doors to see if anyone had interest in learning about Christ. We came across this one apartment building and decided to give it a shot.
So...
In Japan, there are 3 kinds of apartments: super luxurious suites, decent apartments with 4 to 5 rooms total, or ghetto as crap.
Ghetto as
This
crap.
apartment was the latter. We were on the 2nd floor of this building and knocked on this one door. A middle-aged man in worn-out clothes answered with an awkward smile on his face. Being the kind missionaries we were, we introduced ourselves and asked him if he would like to learn about what we believe. Instead of giving us a direct answer, he invited us in. Usually, in missionary work, this is a good sign, but upon stepping foot into that apartment, I knew what we got ourselves into. This apartment reeked with the smell of marijuana and urine. His apartment was puny: a small entryway, a door on the left leading into a bathroom, a small kitchen to the right, and a small multi-purpose room with a small kneeling table, TV, and bed.
Just trying to imagine
That's
this
it.
scene that they were in.
Judging by the way he was behaving and most of the decor in his apartment, I knew this guy definitely had some sins worth confessing.
Oh shit.
He sat us down on either side of the table and started to rant on about how he hates Christians and wants to kill them. That made my companion and I tense up a bit. But the man was plastered. In the time this was going on, he drank 10 times his weight in booze. We just prayed and hoped he wouldn't recognize who we were and what he was telling us. Then he said, "I'm going to tell you a secret and you can't tell anyone." He then pulled out from under his bed a box. He opened it to reveal thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Japanese yen. And yes, it was authentic. We even examined it. This man was an illegal drug lord who worked with the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia group. We then realized that if this man knew what he just did and showed us, he would kill us for sure, or at least take us hostage. My companion and I feared for our lives and tried to come up with an excuse to get away, but he wouldn't let us go. He kept ranting on about irrelevant things and saying how Christianity was an evil cult of some kind. We tried to explain our side of the story, but there's no use in reasoning with a drunk drug lord who works for the Japanese mafia.
Definitely not.
It then got to the point where we practically had to run for the door. We said we were leaving, stood up, and quickly walked over to the door. The guy then stood up and began to reach for something in a box, but we never saw what it was. As soon as the door closed, we bolted home faster than we ever had.
I would have too.
The last thing we wanted was him
gone.
sobering up to find out he had revealed his deepest, darkest secrets to 2 Christian missionaries from America. Had this man not been drunk, he probably would have killed us. For all we know, he was reaching for a gun as we were leaving. When I was 15 years old, I was home alone one night for whatever reason. My bedroom is on the first floor, right next to the living room. It's a strange setup. I had the door shut and was playing video games when I heard a strange sound come out from in the living room. It took me a few moments to figure out that it was a tap on the window. I stepped through the dark living room and out the front door and checked the bushes by the window.
No, don't eat, no.
Nobody was there.
No.
I went back to my room with the door open and resumed playing the game.
No, bad as it
5 seconds later, another knock on the glass. This time I ran to the front door barefoot, ready to chase the pranksters. But again, no one was in the bushes. No one was even in sight. I chose to just ignore it from here on out. On my way back to my room, there was another knock. I ran over to the window to try and catch
just a
them.
tree branch on like the glass.
There wasn't anyone
like
outside, but I felt something right above the tip of my toes. I looked down and saw the dark shadow of a figure sitting down by the window. I think I was back in my room in a matter of 2 seconds with the door locked. I was hiding under my bed trying to call my dad.
Oh shit.
The knocking on the glass continued from outside. When I explained to my dad, he called me crazy for not calling the police. So he told me he would for me and to wait in my room with the door locked. I'd say about 5 minutes later, the knocking stopped, and 10 minutes later, the cops arrived.
Oh.
The figure was gone, but there were no signs of entry or exit, as all the doors were locked and all the windows shut. Still, we haven't seen or heard of anything since then, but it's still creepy as hell to think about.
He was probably just high off drugs. Is there another? Oh, it's the last story? Alright, so that is the last story. That's the end of the video. Yeah, those are pretty creepy stories. I thought they'd be a little more scarier. I think the most scary one would have been the first story, where the flashlights were returned. Like, how the fuck did, like, the spirit or whatever in that house knew where they lived? Like, that's some creepy shit. Like, oh fuck. Like, no, that would freak me the fuck out, yo. I'd move the fuck out of that place. I'd be moving to another country or some shit. I'd be like, fuck this, I'm moving. Like, I'm out, packing my bags, I'm gone. No explanations at all. I don't want to explain that story again. I'm just fucking out. Like, I'd be gone. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Original link to this video will be down in the description, along with all my social media and my main channel. And like always, peace.